Welcome back to another video here with Mofado. In this video, I'm going to talk about the question that is commonly asked by people that are looking to start their own home health care agency, which is, how much money do home care agency owners make? I think this question is very selfish, quite frankly, and I believe that this is the wrong question to ask, especially when somebody is looking to start a business. Completely wrong question to ask. And I think this question needs to be rephrased. And you need to rephrase your question as follows. How profitable can a home care agency be over time? Over the next 2 years, next 3 years, next 5 years, next 10 years? That's really how we should be rephrasing that question. It's very difficult, right, to put a number to this question because it really varies by state. There are way too many variables to consider on how much an agency owner makes. For example, there could be an agency that makes $1 million a year in gross revenue, and the agency owner makes a bulk of that money, but that agency is not profitable, or that agency is in debt. So let me dive into the three harsh realities. Harsh reality number one is 90% of new agencies will not make it past year number 3. Starting a business is not easy. A lot of people think that they're just going to quit their job, then start a business, and then everything is going to be super easy. That's not the case, unfortunately. You're going to have to work 3 times as hard, maybe even 5 times as hard as your job, but there's always an upside to that. The upside is that you'll make way more money as a business owner than you would an employee over time, because there's no limit to how much money you can make as a business owner. The reason why 90% of new agencies don't make it past year 3 is because they run out of money, they don't have the proper systems in place. This is just 2 out of a lot of different variables. So 90% is a huge percentage when you compare to the overwhelming number of people that think they can start their own business. So just think about it, right? Out of 100 people, only 10 are going to make it past year 3. That is crazy. And you understand the amount of effort that is required to do that is incredible amount of effort. You need a proper support system. You need to make sure everything goes right. And we all know things never go right, especially when you're starting a business. It goes like that, zigzag. It's nuts. Harsh reality number 2 is most new business owners or most new agency owners, they really struggle with this transition from being an employee to being a business owner. Let me explain what I mean. Let me take you back in time a little bit. When you were a kid, do you remember what it was like being a kid? Oh, my childhood was amazing. I had no bills. I didn't have to worry about too many things. The only thing I had to worry about was getting good grades and getting fancy toys if I got good grades. I didn't have to worry about mortgages, rent, car notes. All that stuff was taken care of by my parents. I laugh sometimes when my kids refuse to take naps in the middle of the afternoon. And I have to say, oh my gosh, do you know I would kill to be able to take a nap at this time? But you have the opportunity to take a nap at 3 in the afternoon? You should be grateful, but they don't see it that way. Where am I going with this point? Transitioning from an employee to a business owner is very much like transitioning from a kid to being a grown-up. It's a very similar transition. It's almost scary how similar it is, because on one hand, when you're an employee, all you're doing is making sure you do the right job, you're obedient, you show up on time to your job, and the check shows up every 2 weeks, guaranteed, without fail. What happens is when you transition from that to a business owner, you start to discover that you're in this frame, and then outside of that frame is a whole new world filled with brand new bills, brand new liabilities that you didn't even think about. That's what happens when you start a business. Things like payroll, insurance, your accounting, and those things are harsh realities that a lot of people don't want to deal with, unfortunately. So instead, what they want to do is they want to focus on how much money they're going to make, which is very selfish. Thinking about how much money you're going to make, that's going to come into your pocket, you've already lost if you're thinking that way. You've already lost, I'm telling you. And which leads me to point number 3. The harsh reality number 3 is 99% of people are chasing money. And the reason why they're chasing money is because they're comparing themselves to like their friends or somebody else who started a home care business 3 years ago. Now they're making 6 figures, but you don't know their story. You don't know if that business is profitable or not. You don't know any of that. You don't know if they're going through a divorce. You don't know their personal life. You don't know if they're battling a terminal illness. All you know is that at some point they told you that they're making 6 figures. But do you know how stable that business is? Have you inquired exactly how much gross revenue that agency is making? Have you inquired if the employees of this said person are actually paid enough money? Have you inquired if this agency has a great reputation amongst its clientele? Have you inquired about any of that? Chances are you haven't, because you're too busy comparing yourself to the other people, which is why 99% of people chase money and they fail. Chasing money is like chasing a cat or chasing a fish with your bare hands. Have you ever tried to kill a chicken? I remember when I was a kid, right? I grew up in a village in Africa, and they would send me to go catch a chicken, and I would chase down this chicken for what seemed like hours, trying to catch that chicken with my bare hands. That's what it's like chasing money. You're gonna be constantly chasing, constantly chasing. You'll not get anywhere by chasing money. And that's where your mindset needs to shift. Let's talk about solutions. Let's talk about the 3 solutions now that can help you to overcome these harsh realities that I just told you about. Solution number 1 is focus on building value. What do I mean by focus on building value? If you need to catch a chicken, what you have to do is you have to take bait. You have to use bait. And you have to use like chicken feed. This is how I was taught to catch chicken. Instead of chasing after it, you take the chicken feed and you spread it right in front of you. And then you take like a basket. You hide a basket behind yourself like that. And then as the chickens see that chicken feed right in front of you, they're gonna come, right? They're gonna start eating the chicken feed. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the basket, boom, right? You're gonna cover the chicken with the basket. There you have it. You've caught the chicken. There's a strategy to making money. Making money is very similar to catching the chicken. You need to put out value in the terms of what are the services that you're going to deliver to the marketplace. How do you become the most valuable agency owner in your city? How do you become the most valuable agency that also trains up the most valuable caregivers? When you do that, I promise you, the money will come. Just have to focus on building that value. And there's so many ways that I'll touch on in the upcoming videos on how to build that value for your agency. Solution number 2 is focus on profit. Profit over everything. I don't care if an agency is making $1 million, okay, in gross revenue. What I care about is how profitable is that agency. What you'll find is that a lot of agencies that are operating right now, they're either in debt, operating on debt, or they're operating on very thin margins or very thin profit margins. And you don't want to be that. You don't want to be those two. Instead, what you want to do is you want to build your profitability slowly but surely. It's probably in your best interest to focus on 1 or 2 clients at a time, and then focus on being the most valuable agency to them, and then focus on making sure your profits are as healthy as possible before you scale up. All right? There is a book that I read in the past called Profit First. I forgot what the name of the author is. I'll put the picture of the book somewhere here. This book really taught me something about prioritizing profits. Okay, a lot of people don't know how to manage their money because they are very irrational about money and they don't use logic when it comes to business sometimes. This is most people. They don't use logic. They're irrational. They use their emotions. I encourage you to go and read it. Solution number 3, final solution, which is stop comparing yourself to others. Like I said, you don't know what other people are going through. You don't know if somebody's going through a divorce. You don't know if somebody's being reckless with their money. You don't know if somebody is in debt to the eyeballs and they're running an agency that from the outside, everything looks perfect. But when you look under the hood, everything is rotten. Stop comparing yourself to others. This race should be you against you, not you against your friend, not you against that other person you don't know. You only know yourself. You only know you. Like I know me. You think I'm worried about what my competition is doing? I don't care what my competition is doing. What I'm focused on is being the most valuable person right here on YouTube. That's what I'm focused on. I'm on my grind like that. So should you. You need to have blinders like this. Have you ever seen a Kentucky Derby? When the horses are racing, you'll see that these horses have these blinders. They're not worried about what this horse is doing. They're not worried about what that horse is doing. They're just like this. And they're super focused on winning the race. That should be you. Cut out all the noise. Stop talking to people. Stop sharing your plans with other people. Okay? I hope you got some value from this video. I'll see you in the next one.